Hello friends, my name is Aubrey. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you all here with me today. So I sincerely apologize that this video is a day late. Work has just been extremely stressful and hectic in this first week, and also bear with me because I've had a headache for a couple of days now, and hopefully it does not, it's already making words hard. So I'm sorry, we'll get through this. Hopefully we can get through it with no issues. But today we are going to be going through my July book haul. So we're going to look at all of the books that I received in the month of July. As I've said previously this year, I am trying not to buy as many books. So pretty much all of these are pre-orders. There are 3 that I did actually pre-order within this year, but the rest are all pre-orders from a while back. And so I have been doing pretty good. I mean, it looks like I'm still getting a lot of books, but that's because I have a lot of pre-orders. So, but anyway, we're going to go through all of the books that I got in the month of July, and just like usual, we're going to go through them based on where I got them. But before we do that, I did get something from a Kickstarter that isn't actually a book, but it does go with a book that I've gotten in the past. So I backed the Kickstarter for the TRPG, or tabletop role-playing game, for the Magnus Archives. If you're not familiar with TRPGs, they're like Dungeons and Dragons. Essentially, they're role-playing games that you play outside of a video game, right? The original role-playing games. So you have like rule books, and you create a character, and they're a lot of fun. And the Magnus Archives is one of my favorite podcasts. It is a horror podcast, and they did a Kickstarter for their own TRPG game, which is so exciting. So I received the sort of like Dungeon Master Guide rule book a while ago, but now all of the extra stuff has come in, and I'm just so pleased. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I got with this Kickstarter. So first, and this is the most exciting item. Because I backed the Kickstarter, I think it was you had to back it within the first 24 hours or 48 hours or something like that. I received a free training cassette tape. So if you have listened to the Magnus Archives, you know that essentially our main character, Jonathan Sims, who has taken over the position of archivist at the Magnus Institute of London, as he's recording statements to try to make audio formats of them, some statements will not record digitally. They will only record using a tape recorder. So the tape format is very, very significant, but this is a training tape that is voiced by Jonathan Sims himself. And on the back it says property of the Magnus Institute, and it has their logo. I have not listened to it yet, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited. This is so cool that they even did this. Yeah, this is insane. This is content that is exclusive to the Kickstarter and to the TRPG. And I'm so happy to have this. I've been looking forward to this for so long. Then it also came with some book plates. So there are a set of books in the podcast known as Lighteners. Lighteners, I'm not going to get into what they are because spoilers, but they come from the library of a man named Jürgen Leitner, who had collected them, and that is why they are known as Lighteners. And so they sent some book plates that say from the library of Jürgen Leitner, and they have a few different variations. And if you're a fan of the podcast, the imagery on these will mean something to you. So yeah, there are 3 different variations, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 sets, 5 sets. How many do you get? Okay, you have 12 of these, so I think 4 sets. So yes, book plates, you can write your name at the bottom. Very, very cool. I am definitely going to put one in my like guidebook that I got. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of them yet. I might save them in case there is ever any more Magnus Archives related book content, and then I could use those for that. And then we got a very official looking folder that has essentially props that you can use for the game. So there are like business cards for various organizations, like security cards as well, for various organizations and like personnel from this world. We also have some newspaper clippings about a missing person, local man found, locals claim creature wandering woods, some advertisements for, we have a brochure for a specific cult, a little handout for the Circus of the Other, Historical Reenactment Society. We have an order form for Beacon and Hope deliveries, a bill of landing for Outer Bay shipping. So a lot of things that obviously make sense if you have listened to the podcast. And then we have little reference sheets for like the cipher rules, a little poster for Grifter's Bone the band, and then we have a chart depicting Smirk's taxonomy, which I'm not going to explain what that means because it is a spoiler for the show. We have a post from, I'm not sure who this is from. I haven't read through it again, but I haven't read through it completely, but it looks like it's talking about, oh, the distortion. Okay. We have some papers that actually have the Magnus Institute letterhead, and I think these are really cool because we have kind of a official version and a much more like parchment style, and you could make copies of these and pass them out to your players to take notes on, or you could write on them to have like personalized letters to use in your game. They also have a template for witness statements, so again you can make copies of that and use that within your game. So yeah, I think this is just very, very cool. The level of detail that they put into this just really shows how much the creators really love the show and what they're doing, and also how much, like, how appreciative they are of fans, because they clearly want their fans to get a quality product, and they know how much we enjoy this story and enjoy this content. So I just think that it was a really, really cool Kickstarter. It's a really, really cool set of items to make the whole experience of playing the game much, much more enjoyable. Okay, so now that that is out of the way, we're going to get into the books. The first one that I have here, I guess actually there were 4 books in this stack that I bought this year. I think it's kind of hard to keep track of when I pre-ordered stuff. But the first one that I have here, I actually ordered from eBay in the month of July, because if you saw my second quarter reading wrap-up for this year, I actually recently read Dawn Thief, which is the first book in Chronicles of the Raven, which is the first series in the Raven saga. And when I was looking up out of curiosity the other books just to kind of get price ranges for how much they are, if there are cheaper versions on any other sites, like, you know, sometimes books on Amazon have different prices than on other websites, or sometimes you can find them on Pango Books, you know, things of that nature. As I was looking, I realized one of the books in the Raven Saga is, I think, out of print in the editions that I'm collecting. And so I kind of panicked. I found a copy on eBay that was very cheap. And I ordered it. So that way I can have a matching set. It is a little discolored at the top. It was clearly withdrawn from somewhere. But this is Nightchild, which is the 3rd book in Chronicles of the Raven. And this series is by James Barclay. I am not going to read the synopsis of this because it is the 3rd book in the series. But in the first book, we follow a mercenary group known as the Raven, and they are very, very well known. They have a lot of renown in the kingdom because of their very unique skill sets, because of their ability to always complete their jobs. And at the beginning of the story, the Raven have been together for quite a while. They're a little bit older and they're actually thinking of retiring. However, they end up enmeshed in this brewing conflict. The dreaded Witch Lords are supposedly rising, and there is only one thing that can stop them. And so they have to team up with a mage from a kind of disreputable college of magic to go and retrieve this item and stop the Witch Lords before they cause mass destruction. And it was a really, really fun fantasy, very like conflict focused, but also very character focused in a number of ways. And I really enjoyed Dawn Thief, like I said, which is the first book. So I do want to continue this eventually. I actually have Elf Sorrow, which is the first book to the second series in this world, which I had bought originally, then found out that there was a series that came before it and bought Dawn Thief, which I have since read. So now I have book 3. I still need book 2 in Chronicles of the Raven, and then the rest of the books in the next series, the name of which is escaping me right now. But like I said, I wanted to go ahead and get this because I could not find this edition anywhere new. And so I wanted to go ahead and get it while there was a cheap, reasonably priced copy available. So I'm very, very happy to have this. I just think these editions are really pretty. I don't know why. I like the art on the covers. And something about the spine. Dawn Thief is like purple with kind of a pinkish, like a pinkish orangish font for the title. I just think they look really nice. So I'm really happy to have this one. So my collection will match. It will be cohesive. Alright, now let's get into the pre-orders. So first I have a number of books that I pre-ordered from Barnes & Noble, and the first one we have is The Baby Dragon Cafe, which is the first book in a series which I believe is called Baby Dragon. I'm not sure. But this is by A.T. Qureshi. And look at how adorable the cover is. As soon as I saw this up for pre-order, I immediately knew that I needed to have it. Because I love dragons. And this is supposed to be a very cute, cozy fantasy with some romance. And, of course, little adorable baby dragons. So, I don't know. I really hope it's good. Welcome to the cutest and most complicated cafe in town. When Saphira... We have stolen a name from Aragon. When Saphira opens her cafe for customers with pet baby dragons, she isn't expecting it to be quite so hard to keep the fires burning. But her young dragon patrons keep incinerating the furniture, which means selling coffee isn't covering her costs. Local heartthrob Aiden is a gardener, though his disobedient baby dragon is a major distraction from his beloved plants. However, Saphira's cafe gives him an idea. He'll ask Saphira to train his dragon and pay her enough to keep the cafe afloat. They know they're the answer to each other's problems, but happy-go-lucky Saphira and gorgeous but grumpy Aiden couldn't be more different. Can they find a way to work together and maybe even ignite some fire of their own? So yeah, it just sounds like a cute, cozy fantasy with food and gardening and romance and dragons, and I really hope it's good. I really hope I like it. And then the next book that I have here, I have already read, and that is the deluxe hardcover edition of Heaven Official's Blessing, or Tianguan Sifu, volume number 5. So this series is by Mosheng Tongshu. If you've been around on my channel, you have heard me talk about this quite a bit, and I have been collecting the beautiful hardcovers as they are released, so I have been pre-ordering them. And volume 5 is here, and I'm so happy. It's so beautiful. The art on this cover is just, I love it. I love it so much. If you've read the series, you may know what scene this is. But it's just absolutely beautiful, and it wraps around to the back. And then we have our sprayed edges, which I have mentioned before. All of the volumes, when put together, will make a cohesive image across the edges. So once I have all 8 books, I will put them together so that you can see how the sprayed edges look when they're lined up. But then we have the top and the bottom. We have the naked hardcover. And then we have our end papers with Yushi Huang, or Huang. you can see there, and the front end papers are the same as the back. And then, if you want to see the cover art in its entirety without the little text box, there it is. It's so beautiful. It's so pretty. And as I've said before, these deluxe editions, the content, other than the cover, the end papers, and the sprayed edges, is all exactly the same as the paperbacks. So all of the internal artwork is the same. There is no additional content yet. I have no idea. They have not yet announced, or have they announced Volume 8? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're going to be doing a special edition of Volume 8 or not like they did with the paperbacks. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yes, now I have Volume 5. My collection is growing and it makes me very happy. Okay, then we have another Donmei pre-order, and that is Volume 9 of The Husky and His White Cat Shizen, or Arha Hata the Baimal Shizen by Ro Bao Buchi Ro. Again, I'm not going to read the synopsis of this one because it is the 9th volume in the series. This is a series that I have mentioned before. I've only read the first book, and I had very mixed feelings at the beginning, but then was very invested in the characters by the end. So I have just been collecting the volumes as they are released. So this one is the most recent one that has come out. The cover makes me really nervous. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm very happy to have this. In this story, we follow Moran, who at the beginning of book 1 is the emperor of all of the known cultivation world. But he is very unhappy, actually, with his situation. He's had a lot of things happen in his past that he regrets and that have just kind of made his life a lot harder than he wanted it to be. He's just not happy. And so he actually takes his own life. And after he does so, he wakes up as a teenager, as a disciple in the cultivation clan where he grew up. So it does involve time travel. And so now he has a second chance to live through his life, and he decides he's going to use this second chance to right the wrongs that have been done to him and to his loved ones. And one of the people he blames for his misfortune is his Shizen, Chu Wanning. However, things may not be exactly as they appear. There may have been some misinterpretation throughout Moran's life. So that's kind of how the first volume sets up the story. I'm very interested to see how it goes as it goes on. This is the longest Donmei series as far as volume number. I don't know about word or page count, but as far as volume number, like, it's on volume 9 and it's not done yet. So it's quite a long series. And I really need to get back into it because I'm so behind. I am 8 books behind. And that is ridiculous. I need to just make it a priority to make some progress on catching up with this series. Okay, then this next one I'm really, really, really excited for. So The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater is one of my favorite series of all time. For my fellow Raven Cycle fans, I'm sure you know what this is. They have released the graphic novel for the first book in the series, The Raven Boys. Look at it. Look at them. Look at them. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. There's the spine. I just think the spine looks very nice. But yeah, I'm so excited. It is a full color graphic novel. It does cover all of the content from the first book in the series. It has been adapted into a graphic novel by Stephanie Williams and is illustrated by Sass Millage. And y'all, I'm so excited. I don't think I'm gonna read it yet. I don't know. If I can contain myself, if I can resist, I think I want to save it till I have all 4. The problem with that is I don't think The Dream Thieves is coming out. Is The Dream Thieves book 2? Yes. Wanted to make sure I was right. I don't think The Dream Thieves is coming out until next year. So I don't know if I'll be able to resist reading it before then. But I think it would be fun to go back through and read them all together and just have the whole series to enjoy and look at the beautiful art. But honestly, I don't know if I'll make it. I guess we'll find out. Okay, then the next pre-order that I received from Barnes & Noble is Volume 2 of Starcross by Crimson Chains. Again, this is in full color. It's really nice to look at because instead of white borders, the artist uses black borders, so it's like really easy for your eyes. It doesn't strain your eyes a lot. But this series is so cute. We follow Polaris, who is the king of like his celestial kingdom, the king of the stars, and his loyal knight Yildan, and the romance that blooms between them, and it's just so cute. I will say in volume 1 there are some inconsistencies within the artwork itself where occasionally something might be on like a different side than it was in a previous panel, that sort of thing. But the story itself is absolutely adorable, and the artwork is very pretty to look at. It has a very painted style to like the backgrounds and the coloring. And I love the characters. They're just so precious. So I'm really happy to have this. I want to read it soon. There's also another romance brewing between two other characters that I'm very excited about. So yeah, I'm really, really happy to have this one and to continue with this series because for quite a while I was waiting on this volume to even be announced, and then once it was announced and I pre-ordered it, I still had to wait to get it. So hopefully, probably, I will be reading this one soon. Okay, and then my final pre-order from Barnes & Noble is actually a cookbook, and that is the official Wednesday cookbook, The Woefully Weird Recipes of Nevermore Academy by Mari Mancusi and Jarrett Melendez. I love cookbooks. I think that they're really fun, and I really like themed cookbooks. Even though I'm kind of a picky eater myself, so I never like every single recipe within a cookbook, I still really like to look through them and I like to get ideas from them. And I think themed cookbooks are just so much fun because they bring to mind, if they're done well, let me just put that caveat there. They really, really do bring to mind the theme, whether it is a fandom that you're a part of or a holiday. It's just really fun to get to indulge in that with something like food, right? Something you get to make yourself and eat, and while you're eating it, it just makes it fun, because you're like, oh yeah, this is from Wednesday, or this is from the Lord of the Rings, like this is something the hobbits would eat, that sort of thing. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I just think it adds this level of like whimsy to your cooking. But I really, really, really enjoyed season 1 of Wednesday. I've been a fan of the Addams Family since I was a kid. I watch the Addams Family movies every October. So I really liked season 1 of Wednesday. I'm really looking forward to season 2. And this is really fun because it has like information about Nevermore Academy and about some of the characters in the groups. Like we have the different cliques within the academy, and it breaks the recipes up into a number of different categories based on when you would eat them. So like we have blood-curdling breakfasts, things finger foods. I particularly enjoy that title. Midday macabre meals, dinners of dark despair, devilish desserts, and sinister sips. And then it also has at the back just some ideas for different like parties that you could throw that would be Wednesday themed or Addams Family themed. And yeah, I just think it's a really fun idea. Got like a cat hair or something on my face. I just think it's a really, really fun idea, and I don't know. I'm just happy to add this to my cookbook collection now. Alright, now we are moving on to pre-orders from Crunchyroll. So actually, 3 of these I pre-ordered earlier this year. So my count was way off. I forget things that are in the stack. But the first 3 that I have here were actually pre-ordered together, and they were ordered this year. So the first thing that we have is actually from Delicious in Dungeon. This is the Delicious in Dungeon World Guide, the Adventurer's Bible Complete Edition. So they did release a previous edition of this, which I did not own. I did get the Delicious in Dungeon box set. Was it earlier this year or last year? I don't remember when it came in. Because I have seen the first few episodes, like quite a few of the first episodes in the Delicious in Dungeon anime, and really enjoyed them. The concept of cooking living things like meat. I eat meat, but the concept of it does bother me. So that part of it does, I kind of just have to like, you know, they're fighting these monsters anyway. These monsters are trying to attack them, these creatures. And it is better to make use of things rather than to kill something and then go have to kill something else for food. So that's what I tell myself. But I really, really like the characters, and I do like the cooking aspects in the show. So when I saw that this was coming out, I am a completionist. I really, really wanted to have all of the content that was available. It also has, on the Naked book, a number of the creatures that they encounter in the series, which I think is really pretty. And then we have, on the inside of the dust jacket, a nice little map of the dungeon, which is really neat. So yeah, this is, as the name suggests, a world guide to the world of Delicious in Dungeon, going over character profiles, different creatures, areas, things of that nature. I have not read through it yet because I have not finished Delicious in Dungeon. I did stop watching the anime when I decided that I liked it enough to get the manga. So I am going to start from the beginning of the manga and complete the story that way, and then go and finish the anime, because I prefer typically the content in books. Usually there are some exceptions, as opposed to their adaptations, which I also very much enjoy. But that's like my plan. So I haven't read through this yet. I will once I have read all of Delicious in Dungeon, but I just like these little extras. I like the insight and the information that it gives. I just think it's fun. Like, we have, for example, creature profiles, information on different creatures that they encounter. I just think it's really neat, and so I'm happy to have this to add, and this way I will have it whenever I finish the manga. I can then look at this whenever, or maybe while I'm reading the manga, I could like look at different information on creatures and stuff. It also has, I think, are those bonus manga panels? Or are they from the main series? I'm not sure. I'll have to find out. Okay, then the next two I'm so excited about. Like, so excited. The first one is Lord of Mysteries, and this is book 1, The Clown, Part 1. This is a web novel by Cuttlefish That Loves Diving. Such a neat name. I love cuttlefish. They're one of my favorite animals. They're so cute. But this is a series that has been very, very, very hyped up lately. There are so many people who just sing its praises, and the anime trailers I have seen look absolutely gorgeous. Or maybe they would be, because I'm pretty sure this is Chinese, so they would be Donghua. Yeah. The Donghua trailers are just absolutely beautiful. I really want to watch it, so I need to read it so that I can watch it. And it's so cool that they are giving these online authors the chance to have physical publications of their works. I just think that that's so neat. It's also a lot thicker than I expected. It's like 570 something pages. Yeah, 571 pages. So it's a big book. In the storm of steam and machinery, who can achieve the extraordinary? In the fog of history and darkness, who whispers? When Zhao Mingrui, I apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly. When Zhao Mingrui, I don't know if that's right. Mingrui, I'm not sure, wakes up bloody and dazed, he finds himself in a world of guns, factories, airships, and difference engines. But underneath the surface of all this industry, there exists a secret society revolving around potions, divination, sealed artifacts, and much more. As Zhao Mingrui, or Mingray, Mingmui, tries to find out what brought him to this place. He quickly learns that mystery is lurking around every corner, and danger is never far behind. This is the legend of the Fool. And it says on the, like, it has a little interior page. It also has French flaps with artwork, and on the back of that it says the Fool. Everything begins with playing, so welcome to the journey of the Fool. Let's start from zero, return to the initial state, and restart life. Don't be serious, and don't be afraid of the unknown. Experience is the only purpose of life. You already know this is acting, so let yourself go and sing with the Fool. Then it has a zero, and it says, nothing has yet begun. The Fool breaks free from the tapestry of fate and sets out on his journey. He will continue until the world reaches completion. So I'm intrigued. It sounds like we have a really interesting mix of steampunk and, like, alchemy, magic, that sort of thing. So I have no idea what this is about based on that, except I do think that there is a system, perhaps. Like, it is clearly an isekai. And I am assuming, I think because when I was looking through, it is illustrated, or at least there's at least one illustration. It has these little, like, panels that remind me of maybe, like, a system talking to him, but it might not be the case. Those may actually just be like a mixed media thing, like where he's finding notes and writing and stuff like that. I'm not sure. But either way, I'm really, really, really excited for this because so many people love it. And I am so interested. The synopsis doesn't tell me much of anything except that it is an isekai. And I want to know what's going on. Then we have another really, really, really well-loved isekai. Actually, this one's not an isekai. This is more like another world invading our world. So it's kind of the opposite of an isekai. Instead of the character waking up, if you don't know what isekai is, a character wakes up in another world, sometimes a novel series or video game series like a fictional world, sometimes just an alternate world, and then has to live their life there. This is kind of the opposite of that because instead of the character going to another world, the other world has come to the character. But that is Omnisient Reader's Viewpoint. So this is novel number 1 by Sing In Song. It's so pretty. This front cover actually has a die cut in it. And then full character artwork. I guess full bust artwork on the next page. This series... Oh my gosh. It's gotten more colored art. Look at that. How pretty. That's so pretty. But anyway, this is a Korean series that has been translated into English. I think it was also a web novel. Yes, it was also a web novel that has just gotten so much attention lately. And again, I want to know why. If you are reading this, you will survive. Kill each other within the time limit or die. It's just another evening commute on the train until the passengers are given an order they can't disobey. Utter chaos ensues, but ordinary office worker Dokja, is it Dokja? If anyone knows how to pronounce Korean names, please correct me if I'm saying this incorrectly. Ordinary office worker Dokja Kim only feels an unsettling calm. He knows exactly how this will play out. The subway car, the passengers' reactions, even the bizarre creature that suddenly appears to oversee this sadistic scenario. Everything is straight out of his favorite story, an online novel so obscure he is its sole reader. And as the only one who knows where the plot is headed, Dokja must use his knowledge to survive the oncoming apocalypse. Yeah, I'm really excited for this. It's a lot shorter than Lord of the Mysteries, but I'm no less excited. I also am pretty sure that that one does have like a system in it, and it's going to have like stats and be very much like a lit RPG sort of isekai, which I do enjoy. So I'm excited for that one. And then the last pre-order that I got from Crunchyroll, actually I did order this one with those. This is why I made that order and ended up pre-ordering those other books. I have not started the series yet. But I own the first book, and this is the final book in the series. I only own the first one, and I have not started reading it. But when they announced they were doing a special edition of the series, and I saw some of the things that they were going to come with it, I caved, and I ended up pre-ordering it. And that is Volume 7 of Remnants of Filth, or Yuwu by Ro Bao Buchi Ro. So yes, the same author who wrote The Husky and His White Cat Shizen. Seven Seas has been doing these special editions of usually the last volume in a series of Danmei, but lately they've also been doing them for the first volume, I think because they realized that it's probably a marketing thing, that more people are likely to buy the first volume than the last volume because they may not end up liking it. So if they want to sell more of the special editions, they've started doing them for some of the first volumes. Which is fine by me because it stresses me out a lot less because I haven't started the series yet. I really hope I like it. But like I gave in to the fear of not being able to get the special edition if I did read the first volume and loved it. So here it is. So I'm happy that they're doing the special editions for volume 1 now because then I don't have to worry about it. I can just decide, does this premise sound good enough that I want the special edition, and then go from there. But here is, it has this little pull out art piece in the front, which is really, really pretty. I don't know anything about these characters because I haven't read it. I don't remember much about the premise except that one character ends up on the opposing side of our other main character, and somehow something bad happens to him and he ends up coming back and has like been very affected by what has happened, and now the other main character is like in charge of taking care of him, figuring out what's going on, that sort of thing. I'm assuming there's going to be maybe the misunderstanding trope where character 1 was actually on the other side for a reason, like he wasn't just trying to be character 2's enemy, but I don't know because I haven't read it. But we do have some other goodies. We have this really pretty bookmark. Again, don't know anything about these guys, but there they are. And then we have some postcards that have all of the cover art for the volumes, and I'm not sure if they're in order. All I know is that this is book 1. And it has little chibi artwork on the back, which I love when they do that. I think it's so adorable. But all I know is that's the first one, and this is the last one. The ones in between, I don't know. So I'm just going to show them to you. I don't know which volumes they correspond to. I am very intrigued by this art, though. I like wolves and foxes and dogs. Canids in general, so I also love whales. So it's doing a good job of making me think I made the right choice in getting the special edition. And I know that these postcards, like, they are postcards, but I'm never going to write on them. I don't. I just think they're too cute. So limited edition stuff I never write on. So yeah, so it came with the postcards for each of the volumes in the series, and then it came with a little sticker sheet with the characters in little chibi form. Again, I don't know who any of these people are, but they're really cute. And we have a little good boy and a little whale, or good girl, I'm not sure which. Very, very cute. And then we have a poster. I don't know if this is going to be spoilery or not, so look at your own discretion. But it's really pretty. And we have our little doggy wolf fox creature here. So, really pretty art. So yeah, I really hope I like this series because that was kind of a impulsive purchase, shall we say. But here it is. Alright, then I got in a very, very exciting pre-order from Lit Joy Crate, and that is the reprint of their Folk of the Air box set. So the Folk of the Air is the first series in Elfheim by Holly Black. Again, a very, very well-loved series. Like, this one has kind of become a bit of a classic in the... Is it YA? I'm not sure if it's YA or not. But in the, like, romantasy spaces, back before romantasy was, like, a big thing, so many people love the series, and I've never read it, but it has fae and romance, and the fae are kind of like darker, trickier fae. And I don't know, I want to know what the big deal is, because a lot of people who don't even like romantasy love this series. And the LitJoy Crate edition is just so spellbinding to look at. I've been getting the other Elfhame books that come after the Folk of the Air from LitJoy Crate, and when they announced they were reprinting this, because I honestly thought I would never get it. People treat these like gold, right? And the first printing is signed. This second printing is not, but I'm okay with that. I'm just so happy to have the matching editions. Like, look at how pretty these books are. They're so beautiful. So we have the first book, The Cruel Prince. I don't think you can tell how gorgeous it is on camera. The gradient of the coloring with the blue and the green, and then the foiling, it's just beautiful. They all have gilded edges, and they have illustrated end papers. So here are front end papers. Here are our back end papers. And they are illustrated, and oh, it is signed. It is signed by the author. Oh my gosh. Wow, I didn't think it was gonna be. That's crazy. Okay, so anyway, they are actually illustrated with a number of color and black and white illustrations, and they are annotated by Holly Black. So very, very cool touches to add. I like it when special editions have things that make them really special. So then we have book 2, which is The Wicked King. So pretty. Our front end papers. I really like the colors on this one. Is this one also signed? Or was that a mistake? No, it's signed. Oh my gosh. And then we have the back end papers. I like all the non-human characters I'm seeing in the end papers. That makes me like really excited to explore kind of this realm. And then we have book 3, The Queen of Nothing. With our front end papers. This one is also signed. And ooh, I really like the colors on this one. That's really pretty. Our back end papers. That's really, really pretty. I like the glow effect. And then we have the companion. I'm not sure if it's a novel or a novella. Not sure. But it is How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories. I love that they include this and don't make you buy it separately. It's really frustrating when companies do that. And it has like a patterned end paper. Is it also signed? Yes, it is. It's also signed. And this one has illustrations by Ravina Kai, which I am pretty sure are standard to the normal edition as well. But it also has extra artwork, I think. Could be wrong about that, but I think it has extra artwork specific to this edition. But I'm not sure. But like the others, it is annotated as well. Okay, and then the last book for this book haul is a little bit of an odd one. I did not buy this with the intention of giving it to myself. In fact, I have had it in my possession for a few years now. My brother's previous girlfriend was a big fan of Pusheen the Cat, and I had bought this for her as part of her birthday present. However, they ended up breaking up before her birthday, and my mom and I contacted her and were like, hey, we have your birthday presents, we would love to meet you and like meet up with you and, you know, maybe buy you something to eat, give you your presents, because they had been dating for a while, so we had a really friendly relationship with her. But unfortunately, without getting into private details, the situation where she essentially on her end was not good, the way that she what she did to cause the breakup. That's all I'm gonna say. And so she basically never responded to us. So I finally was like, well, finally found this in my present stash when I was cleaning some things out in my room. I have a specific place I keep presents, and I was like, I'm never going to see her to give this to her, so I'm just going to keep it. It's really cute. You know, and it's adorable. Maybe if I have kids one day, they'll really enjoy this. And I think Pusheen's adorable. So I Am Pusheen the Cat by Claire Belton. It's just a little color book of illustrations of Pusheen. I have to show you the end papers because they're adorable. But it gives you information about Pusheen, and then it just has little, like, insights into her life, right? So, like, if cats were giant, what would they do? You know, just silly little cartoons. If I were tiny, I would do these things. And it's just really, really cute. A Pusheen's Guide to Sleeping Positions. So, it's adorable. It's part of the Pusheen series, and I guess it's mine now. Alright, so those are all of the books that I got in the month of July. That is everything. I am so happy with all of these. There are just so many exciting things, so many things I am just so excited to dive into and to read, and worlds and characters that I'm so excited to get to know and to explore. And that Folk of the Air box set, again, was something I never thought I would own, because when the first printing was released, they sold out very quickly, and it was before I even really knew anything about special editions. And I did, as I said, start collecting the other books in those editions from LitJoy Crate, like Within This World, just because I thought they were so beautiful. But then when they did the reprint, I was so excited, and they're just as beautiful as I thought they would be. And I'm so excited to see what all the fuss is about, why so many people love this series so much. So yeah, I'm really happy with all of these. I'm so excited to have so much more to read. Now I just need the time to read them. Hopefully, as we get closer to the first day with students back, things at work will calm down and be less hectic. Hopefully. But then we'll have students, so that brings its own its own brand of chaos. But yeah, anyway, I am very, very happy. I hope that you guys are also really happy with whatever you have going on in your lives. Like, work has been so stressful lately, and I've been so anxious, and it is nice to get to sit down and talk with you all, because it just brings a little bit of joy into an otherwise very chaotic and stressful week. So I would love to hear if you guys have gotten anything new recently that you are really happy with or really excited about, or if there's anything that you are planning to get, or anything that you are, excited to read soon, whether you've checked it out from the library or have found it digitally or have bought yourself a copy. Also, if you are excited about any of these, for me to read them, something that you've read in the past, or now that you've heard about it from me, it's made you interested, I would love to hear your thoughts. Just as always, please keep all comments spoiler free. And for an emoji, I don't know if you heard, for the first good portion of this video, there was a big thunderstorm going on outside. It had actually calmed down a little bit. I had to wait like a couple hours for it to mellow out a little. But for our emojis, we'll just put some nice little rain clouds, maybe some lightning bolts, in the comments. So if you want to leave an emoji with your comment, or if you want to let me know you were here but you don't have anything to say, you can just make your own nice little rainstorm down there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you are having a wonderful day or a wonderful night wherever you are, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye! What a good girl. Yeah. What a good girl. Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. Rekhyt. Rekhyt. Oh. Yes. Yes. Yes.